In this video, I will show you how you can build a profitable automated marketing system to get leads and clients for coaching and consulting services. Because in the last 2 months, I recorded 2 impressive case studies from a coach and a consultant. One is a leadership consultant, the other one is a communications coach. And they achieved a return on investment of between 4 and 7, which is pretty high. So they are selling high ticket services. And in this video, I will show you the exact structure of the funnel. I will show you the KPIs and the math behind a profitable automated lead generation and sales funnel specifically for coaching and consulting businesses. And I will show you how you can learn more about these case studies and how they exactly implemented it so you can copy the knowledge and the system into your business and get leads and clients on autopilot. So let's jump right in. So first of all, a 2-minute sales psychology training, because there is only one reason why clients buy coaching or consulting services. And this reason is because they have a problem. That's what you see here on the left side. There is no other motivation than having a problem that creates inner pain and struggles. And the desire to solve it is what moves people forward, is what makes them listen to you. It is what makes them click your ad, become a lead, book a call, and ultimately buy from you. If you just talk about who you are, what you do, what your services are, and how long you exist and your experience, honestly, nobody cares if they don't have the feeling that you understand their problems. So that's the first part. And the second part is obviously people need to see that you can help them turn this problem into a solution. So basically, this bridge here between the problem and the solution, in this case, I am the bridge showing you how you can get clients with digital marketing for coaching and consulting services. In your specific case, it might be something different. It should be a kind of mechanism that builds the bridge and helps your clients turn the problem into the desired solution. And this motivation, this gap between the problem and the solution is what motivates clients to buy from you. Keep this in mind because that's the underlying psychology of the whole funnel that I'm going to show you right now. And if you stay with me till the end, I will also show you 2 powerful case studies that show you exactly how the system works, how they implemented it, and how you can get a 4 to 7x return on your ad spend. So the money you spend on ads, if you put in €1, dollar, or pound, and you get 4 to 7 times the return, that's what is called the return on ad spend in marketing terms. All right, so let's jump over to the structure of the funnel. From my experience, most coaches and consultants don't know what they should say in their email marketing, on their website, on ads, or on any other content that has the purpose or the goal to attract high-ticket leads and clients. And this is basically the structure or a messaging framework that I want to give you right now that helps you understand when you should say what. So the first part obviously is that you start with kind of a hook where you talk about the problem that these people should have so that they are the right people with the right problem that you can help solve. That's very important because if you talk to a person about general stuff or you go straight with a solution, like people won't buy if they don't have a problem. They might still sign up for a lead magnet or whatever your next step is that you offer in your marketing, but that's just because out of curiosity. Then these are leads who just want free stuff, like people who go on exhibitions and collect pencils, okay? They are never interested in the business and the offers of the business. But if you start with a problem and then you expand the problem or agitate the problem, you make it bigger and you educate about the root cause and the consequences when the problem isn't solved as soon as possible, then people see that you are not just making things up, but you really understand their industry, their desires, and then later also their goals, which is obviously solving the problem, okay? And then you could also start with an outlook to the solution. You could basically communicate how it looks on the other side once they worked with you without mentioning how they work with you, because the mechanism, like what you sell, goes last, okay? That's the least important part of the whole messaging. But the destination, how the end result looks like after they worked with you for, I don't know, 90 days, that is important because this is the transformation they want. So you should communicate this as well. then people, of course, are skeptical. They don't trust you if they see you for the first time. Just like if you see me for the first time, you don't trust me. You watch this video, you check me out, you do background check, you are wondering if what I'm talking about is real. I will give you the case study so you can check this out and see what's possible. But if you can incorporate proof in your marketing content, in your ads, in your emails, on your website, on your landing pages, then instantly you build a lot more trust with your audience. And then you should have a next step offer. I would not recommend to make this a call, because a call is a pretty high barrier. People need to invest their time and they are skeptical because they fear that they get sold on the call. Nobody wants to get sold, okay? Everyone just wants the transformation. Basically what you're seeing here in this video, in this slide. All right, so that's the first part. That's what you communicate in the beginning. Typically, that's the first date message when they see you for the first time. Then you move on with a high value lead magnet. Okay, that's your next step offer. This could be a how to achieve result or how to turn the problem into the result. It could be case studies. It could be a calculator. If you help them get tangible results and you want to show them the ROI they can expect, right? If it has to deal with money or anything else that is of value, basically anything else that helps them understand how this transformation could work for them. So then you want to follow up with a goodwill call, just like call them if you get their phone number in exchange for the lead magnet. Then you should call them or message them and just ask if they got what they signed up for. Okay, that's the first thing. Then the discovery call is basically diving deeper into the problem and do this personally and make sure that you personalize and individualize the problem journey and you really understand what they are going through, their pain points, and then their desired outcome, their desired solution, okay? So basically you, in the call, you lead them through this journey from the problem to the solution, and then you position your offer as the bridge, as the fast lane to turn this problem into the solution, okay? That's what consulting does. Consulting is not just like consulting on anything the client wants. Consulting is always helping your client get from the problem side to the solution side. And coaching is the same, okay? They are related, but consulting is basically transferring knowledge while coaching is changing behavior, okay? The last part is basically just a fulfillment. Then you upsell a retainer and then you create a case study, because when you have a case study, you can add your case study to the proof part of your first message, and that creates more trust. All right, so this is your messaging framework, and you should use this in order to build a proper journey for coaching or consulting clients so that they understand your value, they pay your prices, they are excited about how you can help them, and that's why they want to book a call or in the end work with you. Okay, so that's basically the messaging framework. Now let's have a look at the technical funnel structure and then at the case studies so that you see how the funnel looks technically and you can implement it in your business. Your coaching or consulting business basically consists of these three parts. You have the marketing process, and the goal is to generate qualified leads. And that's very important. You don't want to optimize your system just to get cheap leads, because if you have cheap leads, we will see this also in a simulation that I prepared for you, which is this one here, right? Then we can see the full funnel KPIs and also the revenue and profit simulation based on realistic numbers. But you will then see that cheap leads will never convert. And if you spend your money on cheap leads, you get leads, you might be happy because they are cheap, but you will never be able to get your marketing investment back because these people will never spend money on your services. So once you generate qualified leads, the sales process needs to close these deals and convert them into paying clients, okay? So that's the main goal of the sales process. And then the delivery process basically delivers happy clients so you can feed them back in your marketing process and build more trust with case studies. So the first part is an ad, and the ad needs to be structured in three ways. Remember the messaging framework I just gave you to attract the right decision makers for your coaching and consulting services. Doesn't matter if it's B2B or B2C. It is always about this problem solution transformation. You always deal with people, okay? They might purchase in a private context. They might purchase in a business context. In the end, they always have the desire to either make more money become healthier, or increase their relationship. So health, wealth, relationships are typically the three mass desires your coaching or consulting services need to align with and contribute to. So that means that your ad needs to be structured in a way that you first start talking to your ideal target client. For example, let's say if it's CEOs in established businesses with a minimum of 10 employees, you say that in the beginning, if you are a CEO of an established business with a minimum of 10 employees. And then the second part is the problem. Now you talk about the problem. So you continue. And your team doesn't do what you want, or you don't get the results from your team, or you never get reliable results without micromanaging, or you are close to burnout because you are working day and night. Whatever the problem is you are solving for them or with them, you should mention it here, because now it creates relevancy with the right people. And that's very important. I will show you why this structure is very important also to target the right people, especially when you want to win leads and clients on Meta. Then the third part is obviously your offer. You should be able to communicate your offer in one sentence. That's typically the result promise offer. And this should communicate what you do, what's the result of what you're doing, and then how long it takes and what they don't have to do. For example, in my specific case, I build automated lead generation and sales funnels for coaches and consultants in 30 days so they get leads and clients on autopilot without wasting money and without relying on referrals. Okay, so that's the result promise offer and the structure. You should communicate it so everyone can understand how this is the solution to the problem you initially talked about. And then you want to incorporate some proof in your ad. You just show case studies that you've recorded from existing clients that talk about the results they got with you. If you don't have that, don't worry. You can also add this later. But if possible, you should get case studies as soon as possible, because strangers don't trust you until you give them a reason to trust you. And then you give them a next step offer, which is basically the lead magnet. Should not be a call, should be a lower entry barrier offer. For example, a downloadable offer document, a how-to guide, a calculator, maybe a webinar, something that is tangible and doesn't need 30 minutes of time. Good. Now, once you have the ad, you should have this quality manifest or offer document. In other words, this is your lead magnet. That's what they sign up for because they want to learn more about the offer. And remember, the offer is always how you turn their problem into the solution. That's why they want to learn more, because they want to get this transformation. They don't want to get your coaching or consulting. They want the result. That's like if you want to go on vacation, let's say Bali, right? You saw beautiful environment, beautiful beach, beautiful water, beautiful weather. And that's why you purchase a ticket for a flight. You don't want the flight. You want to get on the other side. You want to get to the destination. You want to get to Bali, okay? To this beautiful environment, to these beautiful beaches. And that's the same for your clients. So next, you need to have a form where they can sign up. This can be a form on your advertising platform, like on LinkedIn. They have instant forms. Meta has instant forms. Google also has them, where people don't even need to leave the platform and go on your landing page just to see, oh, that's a long landing page, and then go back to social media, because that's where they want to stay. But they can sign up directly on the platform. And if you have gatekeeper questions, which is very important, then you can automatically qualify the leads. You can verify their phone number, business email address if you're selling B2B. You can ask them some questions for their industry, for their job role, for the size of their business, whatever you need to qualify a lead. And then you can qualify the lead automatically with conditional logic in the questions. And that's important because it conditions the algorithm to just target the right people. If you also report every single lead, even if they are not qualified, to the algorithm just gives you more shitty leads because you tell the algorithm these are the right people you want, which practically is not the case. So make sure that you qualify your leads before you count them as a lead and send them back as a lead to the algorithm. Okay, that's why I initially said it's important to optimize for qualified leads, not just for cheap leads. So then the next step is that this is relevant for AI targeting, because all the targeting on Google, Instagram, Facebook, at some degree also on LinkedIn, is driven by AI. Basically, who engages with your video and then who converts on your form. These are signals to the algorithm that ensure that you are targeting hopefully the right people if you structure your messaging in the right way and if you filter people on your form the right way. Okay, so then you set up retargeting, because look at it like this. People see you for the first time, you are a stranger, they are a stranger. They might be interested because you talk about something that is relevant, like their problem and the solution they can get with your coaching or consulting services. And then you want to build the relationship over time. You want to build trust. That's like if you want to get married, you don't go to a bar, talk to the first girl or man and just ask, hey, do you want to marry me? It doesn't work like this, okay? You need to build a relationship. That's the same with digital marketing. You do it on autopilot by setting up a retargeting campaign. And you retarget people who watched your initial video by minimum 50%, because that already shows a strong signal that they are interested and that your message is relevant, and in other words, that they are the right people. So now you spend some small money on retargeting with specific content to build trust, for example, case studies and your background story and how your mechanism works and how you basically transform the problems into solutions, etc. And this builds trust over time so that when they are ready, you get them on a call. They can either book a call instantly or you call them and then they might know you from the videos already. And then they have a much higher chance that they also are interested in a so-called strategy call and a discovery call where you analyze their problem and then offer your solution as the solution to fix their problem reliably. Okay, so that's the structure. You need a video ad, you need a form, and you need a lead magnet that they get after they fill the form. If you have a CRM system, it makes total sense that you show a thank you page where you tell them important last step. You will get this lead magnet in 3 to 5 minutes by email. If you want fast results, now click this link and book a call directly. Then you get people, they sign up for your lead magnet and they can book a call straight if they already trust you and if they are excited and interested in moving forward, okay? And then you send them the lead magnet by email. Very important. Okay, now let's talk about numbers, because I promised you to build a profitable automated marketing system for you. And it is important that you model the KPIs and you have a profitable plan before you implement the marketing system. Most coaches and consultants make this one big mistake. They just build some random content, set it up, put budget on it, and it feels like throwing spaghetti at the wall with the hope that something sticks. In the end, you throw a lot of money on marketing and you don't get any results and you don't even know why. So with this plan that I'm going to show you, you will be able to debug your marketing and to find out where the bottleneck is and why things are not working. And this is the first step to fix your funnel, because then you can focus on fixing this one problem in your funnel to make your marketing system work. It all starts with your offer. That's what we are having here, okay? So you have a first entry offer that you deliver in the first month. Then you have a second offer that you deliver in, I don't know, the next quarter, or if you have a retainer that goes for another 11 or 12 months, so you have an engagement of a whole year, would be even better to increase the customer lifetime value. So how much money you make with one client, okay? So then you wanna put in here the price, so that's how much your client pays for the first month. Can be a total different value, right? This is just an example. Maybe it's just 3K, okay? I don't know you, I don't know your services right now, but let's say you sell it for 3K and then your fulfillment costs are 1K. That means you have a net profit or gross profit of 2K, okay? And it is important to understand what's the main outcome your clients want with this initial offer. Remember the problem solution pyramid, okay? This is what you promise as the first step, the first result they get. For example, in my case, I set up a funnel and launch your sales funnel to get you qualified leads in 30 days, okay? And I guarantee this or you get your money back, right? That's the guarantee here to reduce risk. If you have a guarantee, it's much easier to build trust and reduce the perceived risk, because risk is always the number one thing that prevents potential clients to buy from you. So you want to have a lot of case studies or you want to have a guarantee. Later you can replace the guarantee by case studies, but in the beginning, or also to keep your marketing costs low and close more clients and make more money, a guarantee is always a huge benefit and a big asset, okay? So then here you want to mention what's the mechanism. Is it a course, is it a program, is it done for your service? In my case, it's a done for your service where we implement the full sales funnel, 100% done for you, launch it, create the ads, create the strategy, create the messaging, everything in 30 days, launch it and get you qualified leads, okay? So you need to communicate what it is for you. And then typically you have a retainer here. For example, you help them with group coaching, you help them with ongoing consulting for specific topics after the initial engagement. In my case, it's ongoing optimization of the funnel and scaling the funnel and helping you close more deals, right? So whatever that is per month, let's say 900 over an 11-month period of time, and the fulfillment costs are 200. So your profit per month is 700. And over an 11-month period of time, it's 7,700. And that's huge. That's a lot more profit per client than just having an entry offer that generates like 2 to 4 or 5K profit. It also works with lower profit margins or lower customer lifetime value, but the higher, the better. Okay, so now that's your model. Let's go to the funnel model. And in the funnel model, you pick the channel, right? You can advertise your services typically on Google when there is a high enough search volume on the coaching or consulting services you want to sell, but make sure that you only use keywords that show a real buying intent. For example, marketing consulting company or leadership consulting firm, right? Something that people can pay money for, not just the topic. Like if you just use the terms leadership consulting, that is also a person who wants to become a leadership consultant and just wants to get more information about this. Okay, that's not appropriate. You want to make sure that you have keywords for buying intent. In my experience, Facebook works best by far. If you structure your funnel and your messaging and the psychology of your messaging in a way that you learned about in this video. Okay, I don't recommend you start with LinkedIn. I recommend you start with Facebook. It's easier to make this work, and most people are on Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook, of course. So I recommend starting with this. So then you have here these KPIs. This means how much money you pay for 1,000 impressions of your ad. That's dynamically calculated. It's an auction on the platform. You basically only have influence by having videos that are relevant and interesting and engaging for your audience. So they have a good experience on the platform, and then you pay a relatively low CPM. If you have content that people don't like, then you pay extra money, which is kind of a tax, okay? So then the click-through rate, how many people click the ad to learn more about the next step, remember this next step offer, depends on how interesting your offer is. So in other words, how well the person feels understood, that you understand his or her problem, and that you understand what the person wants to achieve, okay? This transformation. That makes the click. Remember, that's the only motivation why people listen to you. Click, become a lead, book a call, and buy from you. So we measure the click first. This results in this example in €4, dollar, pounds, whatever your currency is per click. Now you have the next step, which is the form with the gatekeeper questions, okay? This should convert anywhere between 5 and 10%. Let's say, pessimistically, we have a 5% conversion rate. It means you pay €80 in this example for a lead. But it's a qualified lead, okay? With verified phone number, if you set it up correctly, with confirmed budget, with the right role, right industry, and other qualification attributes, you should know before you build your funnel, because otherwise you get leads and then you don't know what you should improve if you just say, well, these leads are not qualified, they don't buy. You have no idea how to improve it. That's why you need to know these qualification criteria, okay? Let's make a quick jump here on qualification criteria. It's pretty easy. So this is our lead quality tracking sheet. Typically you want to track if they showed up on a call, if they want what you sell, if they are personally a good fit, if they have the required budget, if they want to start turning their problem into the solution in less than 2 months, if they are a decision maker. If all this is yes, then the lead is qualified, okay? That's what makes a qualified lead. So then you remember you want to get them on a discovery call. Typically you get 30 to 50% on the discovery call. This is a pessimistic calculation. So you pay for a first call 266. Then like on the call, you realize that 50% of people are actually qualified and want to move forward right now, right? Others need more time, then they are not yet qualified. And then you have a show up rate on the sales call, on the strategy call, of an absolute raw minimum of 50%, typically that's 75% or higher. Because if they had a first call, if they are qualified, and remember qualified also means they want to move forward and start or solve their problem in the next 2 months, then you have like a show up rate in the sales call of 75%. It makes no sense that they don't appear. So now you pay €700 for a sales closing call. If you are really bad in sales closing, you just close at a 30% closing rate. If it's the average, it's 50%. It doesn't mean that you close 50% of the leads and convert them into paying clients. It means that you convert 50% of people you already talked to and qualified and created a strategy for, and then pitch your offer. Okay, 50% of these people buy from you. Now you see that the first month is profitable with a return on ad spend of 1.4 and a gross profit of 578 euros. Okay, why is that? Because you pay 1,422 euros to acquire a client. You make a profit of 2,000 in the first month, and then the other month are 7K profit. Okay, so the first month already is profitable, which is good because your first goal should be to get clients profitably. Your front end offer, your first month should be profitable. Then everything else, every retention, every retainer, every upsell is plain profit because you don't need to spend money on ads anymore. You have the client already. Okay, so then you're basically, your customer lifetime value is higher. And if, let's say, as in this case, 30% ascend to your retainer or to your upsell, whatever this is, then your customer lifetime value on average is 2,887, which is a lot more profitable, right? That's your 3x return on ad spend, not just 1.4. That's a lot more money, especially when you scale it, you make a lot more money. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have these KPIs in place. Without a profitable plan, you will have no idea what you need to optimize. Good. And then you can basically run a simulation. If you spend, for example, 1,500 euros, dollars, or pounds per month on ads, then on average, you will get one client a month. Okay, because, well, one client costs you have this here in the model, 1,400. Again, this is statistics, okay? That's not that if you have this plan, reality will align to it. You need to optimize it. You need to go from the first click and make sure that you hit these KPIs, okay? Either you walk through it or you walk around and you skip a specific phase in your funnel if you want to reduce the cost per customer. That's very important, okay? You need to optimize it. It doesn't mean if you have a plan, you will get these results guaranteed. Okay, we guarantee you results if you want to implement this with us. We show you the case studies also at the end of the video. But if you do it yourself, you need to make sure that you consistently optimize every single step. But then you have an automated customer acquisition system. You don't have to just rely on referrals or networking or all this annoying stuff, okay? Yeah, and then here you have a simulation of how much revenue you can make with 1,500 on ad spend per month. This also includes the ascension from your first month, okay, from here into the second month offer. Okay, that's included in this number. And then here we have also the profitability. That is revenue minus fulfillment cost. Remember, here you also have fulfillment costs. And here as well, you should factor this in. Otherwise, you are just making decisions based on the wrong numbers if you don't factor in your fulfillment cost. So now we will also give you a link to 2 case studies. One is a leadership consultant. The other one is a communications consultant and coach. And they have impressive results with this exact funnel structure. If you want to get this created for your individual business, because you want to scale, you want to get independent from referrals, and you consider hiring an expert who knows your industry and got other coaches and consultants results, then below this video is a link. You can apply for a free strategy call. If we see that we are a good fit for your business, then we can meet in person and I will create the strategy for you. That's it. Looking forward to the next video. Cheers and happy scaling.